Good evening. It is Thursday. It's not Wednesday. We're at ModCons. It's been a couple of months since we've had one of these. So thanks very much for joining, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are we both?
Yeah, really good, really good.
Excellent. Mr. Ryan, all good?
Yeah, all good. Nice to be back. Nice to be back with you guys. I don't think I've been on the stream with any of the RGR guys for about 2 months now. So yeah, it's good to be back.
It does feel like it's been a little while, mate, doesn't it? I don't know. There's just been loads on, hasn't it? People have had work on. People have had other bits going on. There's been family stuff. It's not even December yet. Christ, that's normally the month where it becomes insane and you can't do anything out there. But yeah. But yes, it's good to be back. It's nice to have you back, Ryan.
Yeah,
Nice to have you back.
Thank you. I'm sure everyone in the chat will be saying the same. Oh, it's great to see you again, Ryan. The standard has gone up, the panel.
The standard. Amazing. Excellent. Yes, welcome everybody in the chat. It's nice to see everybody there. Yes, we've got Mr. Bricks, Mr. Goldtooth, Mr. Taylor, Everneil. There's a few people in the chats. This is good. Excellent. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Yeah, it's been a little while since we've done a ModCon, so there's been quite a lot of stuff going on in the gaming world. So before we jump into all of that, let's kick off with the first topic that we all do, which I almost forgot to put in until Blunner's mentioned it just before we went on. You're like, oh yeah, forgot about that as well. So what have you been playing? So I think it's going to be a good one to go to Blunners because I think he's had a couple of good games on the go recently. So Mr. Blunners, what have you been playing?
Right, so I've just finished a couple of weeks back. I just finished God of War. Just ready for the new one that comes out next month.
Yep.
My son's also been watching me on that as well, so it was quite good, really good.
What
Won't
do you
give
think of
anything
it?
away. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. So good. I'm annoyed it took me so long to actually actually start playing it, but picked it up for like a tenner, so I can't really complain in the end.
Yeah.
Really good. Splatoon 3 came out.
Oh,
So been playing that. I've been playing it at least once a day. Just dip in, quickly go to shop, play a few rounds, jump back out again. So I'm about level 30 or something. So I've been playing it non-stop. Done the Splatfest the other week.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
I am itching to pick that up myself. I'm trying to be really good at the moment, as like most people are, aren't they? There's certain things, there's bills and all this kind of crap at the moment. So I'm trying to be really good and just be really picky. But Splatoon 3, that is something that I need on my list. I think we said just before we went on, I clocked on sort of just shy of 90 hours on Splatoon 2, and
that's mad.
It's such a good game though. So yeah, hopefully it's more of the same.
It's such a jump in. You can quickly just jump in, play a couple of games, and jump out again. Yeah, it's not doesn't take too much time.
No.
And obviously I've done a few videos. I picked up my Steam Deck this week. Last week. So
Yep.
I've been playing that, trying to get used to it. But yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare to get everything going. But yeah, we're all there.
Just for a size comparison, have you got it there in front of you?
Yeah. So
yeah, look at this. Look at that. And I thought,
is that about 30 inches?
That is absolute beast. So, look at it.
So yeah, it is.
But the build quality on it is absolutely fantastic. It looks expensive. It looks like what you pay for.
Yeah, it's very so. Yeah, to hand. PSP. It's not even the size of the screen. Yeah, it is.
That's insane.
A beast.
Is it? I guess the $6 million question is it better than an Evercade?
I don't know. Nothing's better than an Evercade.
There'll definitely be Everneil in the chat would agree with you on that. I would have thought. Yeah, that's because we've talked about Steam Deck before, and it's one of those. Sorry, I won't talk about it now. We've got a whole topic on it. We're going to chat about it later. Yeah. We're going to hear all about your experience with it so far. So, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, really good. Really well. I waited until payday because then I wanted to get a dock for it because they still haven't released an official dock, which is a bit weird.
Yeah,
managed to pick a dock up as well.
Excellent. So you've had a pretty good game in the last couple of months. That's decent.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan, what have you been playing?
Well, funnily enough, I started playing God of War on my PlayStation 5, the PS4 version. It come as a free download on when you purchase PlayStation 5 as part of the PlayStation Plus. So I thought I'd give that a go. I think I'm 2 or 3 chapters in and really enjoying it so far. Really good story. I've never played any other God of War games, so a little bit of the story at the start was lost on me. So I need to go back and read up what was going on. But yeah, really enjoyable. It's like I was saying to you before, it is a bit of a button basher, but you said all the God of War games are generally like that.
Yeah, this one's much more cinematic. The other God of War games have been really cool, but you can't move the camera as freely. This one's a third-person action sort of game, isn't it? Whereas the other one's the camera is very fixed, and you just kind of run through the scenery and do your thing. But yeah, this one's totally different beast, and it works so well in that sort of that gameplay style that it is. It's oh, how exciting! It's one of those games.
It's very satisfying chucking your axe and then pulling it back and it going through some like zombie's head or whatever they are, some beasts. So yeah, that I've been playing that, so I'm 2 or 3 chapters into that, as I say. I've also, like me and Blunders have had a very similar game month. My daughter got this in September, so I've been playing this with her quite a bit. Splatoon 3. Yeah, really good. She's much better than me on it, sadly, and she's only 8 years old. We've also been playing a bit of Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Is that any good?
League. Yeah, it's really good. This is my attempt at getting my daughter into football. I thought we'll start with Mario Strikers and then maybe move to FIFA, but she's struggling to get into it, so I actually play it more than her. But it's quite a good football game. I haven't got FIFA this year. I haven't brought FIFA for the last 2 years. I'm just going to stick to this. I think much more.
I think if you played like FIFA 13, you've probably played FIFA. To be honest, they're all much of a muchness, aren't they?
Yeah, so that's the 2 main games or 3 main games. Sorry, and I've also been playing. I guess it is a modern 16-bit game. Ira, the Crow Maiden, which is the downloadable game on the Evercade VS this month, which is quite cool. If you haven't played it, do definitely check it out. It's a platform game where you've got an axe and you throw crows at people. So yeah, it's quite a good game actually, and I'm sure we chatted about it on EverChat, and everyone was very impressed by it. So it's definitely one of the better indie games that the Evercade have put on the VS.
All these games that are on the VS that they're doing, these like free indie games, are they going to be on this indie collection too?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool because I've missed a whole bunch of them. So yeah, knowing that they'll at least be coming to a cartridge at some point is really good because everybody said great things about all the games actually so far. It's definitely shaping up to be probably the next best cartridge, isn't it? Really, that Indie Heroes one's amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely agree.
Amazing. I continued for a short period of time to go with non-stressful games for the last month. I think I said on the last ModCons, I just come off the back of Cuphead and Martha is Dead and another 40 hours into Elden Ring, and it was like, oh man, it was just stress central. So I think I've been playing 2 Point Campus at that point, which I'm still playing a little bit of here and there. I started Animal Crossing New Horizon, which is just unbelievably relaxing.
You only just started
last month, started Animal Crossing.
Wow. I want to go back to my island. I just haven't switched it on since we came out of lockdown, basically.
It's really cute. Like sometimes this is going to sound like really stupid, but sometimes I just want to get into bed and actually play a game, but nothing that's like mad or nothing that's like, going to take up too much concentration. And Animal Crossing is like that perfect one for that, where you can just sort of sit in bed and it is quite relaxing. You could almost fall asleep to it at some point if you were that way inclined. But I really like that game. That's super cute, really enjoyable. I've recently just finished Resident Evil 3, the remake. I've been sort of dipping in and out of that for a while, and then just for a long while. And I was like, fuck it, let's start again. Just play through all of that, which was really entertaining. Really short, but it is really entertaining. And I've platinumed the Cowabunga collection as well, which is
wow.
Some of it was like really difficult, some of it not so difficult. This is the first time I've ever completed the original NES Ninja Turtles. but that was because of you could do the rewind feature in it. So every game that you play, you can hold, I think it's R1 or L1 or one of the shoulder buttons, and it can rewind you like 40 seconds. So you could have a
Oh,
really
that's
good
right.
run of something and then like just mess it up and then be like, right, just rewind those 40 seconds and do it again. So I had to do that so much on the first Ninja Turtles game, and you can save it, but there's only one save file per game as well, and it saves it immediately where you are. So if you like overwrite something by accident, it's like, oh, you may as well just start again.
No, no way.
But that was really cool. So if you like the old Ninja Turtles games from like the NES, and there's a couple of the arcade games on there as well, it's a really good pickup. And Shredder's Revenge, I think I might have had that on the last mod cons. I can't remember now. But yeah, that's also really, really good fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that for Christmas, I think. And
Yeah.
them two games.
I think it's a game. Did you get it on the Switch, the Cowabunga edition?
No, I got it on PS5.
Okay, I always see it as quite a good Switch game to buy because obviously then it's portable, isn't it? And
yeah,
I imagine that being quite fun to play on the go.
Yeah, definitely. It's those two Ninja Turtles games. I must admit, I have considered picking up on the Switch as well, even if just because you can do 2-player like mega easy on them. I have to get another PS5 controller or log in my PS4 controller or something for the for the other ones. But yeah, and then literally the last couple of days, I'm just decided I need to get Elden Ring like properly finished. So I'm now back on that like a crack addict. So I'm probably going to end up pumping another 50 hours into that, and hopefully get that one finished. It's just so big, so big. Easily the best game of the year. I've definitely gotten the money's worth out of it. But
yeah, I've held off that as well. That's another one. It's there. I want to play it, but do I leave? Yeah, I've tried the Dark Souls games because it's kind of Souls like, isn't it?
very much so.
And I haven't really got on with them, and it's that's what's put me off. That's the only thing that's put me off of them.
This one I would say is fair. Well, nah, they're all fair. Most of the time, if you mess up in a Souls game, it's because you messed up.
Yeah,
but
of course.
With Elden Ring, at least there are some options available. So because it's open world, if the shit hits the fan, it's just a case of, unless you're in a boss fight, it's a case of you can just call your horse and just leg it. Just absolutely leg it away and, get yourself back up to speed and then go back and give it another go. Whereas, Dark Souls and Demon Souls, it's a bit less, a bit less of a run and hide type game but yeah, I highly recommend Elden Ring. It's really good.
Everyone
really
says how good it is.
It's fantastic. It's all the best things about the Souls game, but in an open world. So yeah, can't complain about that one.
Radio
no green
rentals.
screen.
No green screen. Triangle Face isn't here today, mate.
No, he is in the chat, so I'm sure he'll be pleased to see you in the chat there, Mr. Radio Rentals. Amazing.
It could be a Mrs. Radio Rentals.
It could be a Mrs. Radio Rentals. I have assumed.
Or a miss. Or
never assume anything.
No.
They could be anything. There we go.
Yeah, but from my youth, all the radio rental workers were males. I remember quite a few of my dad's worked for radio rentals. They all had the vans parked outside their houses.
Do you remember the old, first tangent of the night? Do you remember the old TV license vans that used to come around and they used to claim that they had a detector in their car, an aerial?
Yeah, outside your house.
Yeah, and they could detect if you had a TV license.
Do you reckon they could, or do you think that was just made up to scare
absolute
people?
Horse crap? How could they have found out if you had a TV license with an aerial? It was a paid for service, wasn't it? They can tell now because they could just see whether or not you're paid up for a TV license with your direct debit. And there's a couple of people that I think that have tried to come in and say before that, oh no, the detector van, it's real. They could tell you, and it's like, well, can you tell me how they could tell? Because as far as I know, it's a paid service. But I don't know. There you go. First tangent of the night.
Cabbage Face Bricks has said that. Yeah. I don't know if you put his statement up.
Yeah, I did. It's Tim actually here on the green screen.
Oh no, yeah, that one. But then there's one a couple down. Yeah, that was from the advert.
Yeah. I would if I could download it, Dawes, I swear.
You wouldn't download a movie.
Evening Rare.
Yes, Miss Rare. How do? Rare's been streaming.
Constantly, isn't she?
She's been streaming Spawn. Oh, what was it? Spawn Armageddon. I
Yeah.
haven't played that game in a long time. I literally caught a little bit of it last night. It was a bit late last night, but yeah, cracking. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch some of the streams of that because that's a good game.
She was doing Soul Calibur the other day, and
Yeah.
Tim fancies himself as a bit of a
Soul Calibur player,
fighting
doesn't he?
game expert, doesn't he? So I reckon we ought to set that up.
I set up an online battle between Rare and
Yeah.
Tim.
Tim
Yeah.
will be representing the United Kingdom, and then Ray can represent the United States of America. So no pressure, Tim. Don't let us down.
I think it only be fair that we let Rare pick the game.
Yep.
And it can't be Tekken 3.
Tekken 3, yeah. Tim's favourite.
Awesome, actually, no, it's funny you mentioned Tekken 3. When we're going to that arcade place in Southampton, they've got a Tekken 3 machine there now.
Oh.
Yeah, so I will not be playing Tim on that during the course of the day because he will just destroy me.
It's sensible soccer all over again.
Dude, I might have to throw that down. I might have to throw something down right now and say, Tim, I'm going to challenge Tim to a couple of rounds on Tekken 3, best of 3. Let's go with the best of 3.
Yeah, I'm just going to check my photos from when I last went just to make sure it is Tekken 3, but I'm sure it was a version of Tekken.
Or any of the Tekken games. I don't fancy my chances.
No,
it's whatever this one is.
How do I make you go solo? Do I double click you?
I think so.
Oh no, that just makes everything massive on my screen. That looks like Tekken 3.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Tekken 3. But yeah.
Yes, let's play some Tekken.
No, Tekken 5. It's Tekken 5.
I don't even know if I've played Tekken 5. That's one on the PS2, isn't it? Yeah.
Soul Calibur and Tekken are amazing. Yeah, but Ray, what's better, Mortal Kombat or Tekken?
Oh, Street Fighter or Tekken, wasn't it?
Sorry, Street Fighter or Tekken.
Yeah, it's Street Fighter 2 or Tekken, and Tim was flying that Tekken flag. There was one other person I think on our Facebook group that jumped in and was part of Team Tekken. But right, so swiftly chucking us on to our first topic of this evening, and it's one that I wouldn't have brought up if I hadn't have heard the news from another source, because news and rumors around this franchise just keep flying around left, right, and center with nothing ever really being concrete. But it's one of my favorite game franchises. That is Silent Hill: The Short Message. So people have been reporting online that a Korean what are they like the Peggy company in Europe, and I can't remember the American
company.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so people that rate games.
Rate games, yeah.
The Korean games rating company have rated a game called Silent Hill: The Short Message, and it is being released in Korea, obviously, by a company that are renowned for releasing Konami games. So there's a lot of people thinking that this might actually be happening with Silent Hill now. So that's gotten everybody all excited again. Everybody's sort of all wound up, and there's none of these sort of little rumors. This is, something that has been registered. And I'm just, every time I sort of get over the fact that there was no Silent Hill at any of the states of play, there was no Silent Hill mentionings at E3, there was just none of it. And then someone has to just keep dangling that Silent Hill carrot in front of me. And I don't know. I just figured I had to bring it up. I had to talk about it.
When did the last Silent Hill game come out?
What was the last Silent Hill game?
I can't remember. That's how long it's been. Do you know what I mean?
Downpour? I think that was the last one. So it was PS3 360 era.
Not PT.
That was going to be it, wasn't it? That was going to be. That was it. That just never happened. That was because that was being developed by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. And then Kojima and Konami really fell out, didn't they, around the release of Metal Gear 5, and they just pulled it. I don't know how finished it was, or how close to finishing it was, or whether it was still just in production. But yeah, that looked awesome. It's still on my PS4 down here. I've still got it.
Mine. I've got it as well. So it hasn't been anything since 360 PS3 era.
2012 was the last one to come out.
Damn.
Was it
Wow,
Downpour?
10
It
years
was
ago.
Downpour, yeah. I don't know anything about Silent Hill. I'm just Wikipedia in this, by the way.
That's
Oh,
10
that's all
years
handy.
ago. 10 years
Yeah.
ago, though. That's mad.
Yeah, and there's just nothing, and it's not as if there are better games in the franchise, but there's not very many like god awful Silent Hill games. So I've just never understood why that as a franchise has just never continued. It's a real staple of horror gaming, and it's almost criminal that PT and Silent Hills never happened. And it's just one of those franchises that I'm longing for it to come back.
Yeah. They've got to bring it back. It'll just print money, wouldn't it?
I think so. Resident Evil still sells a bucket ton. Even when those games weren't great, they were still selling like loads all the time, constantly selling it. And it feels like it's about time that we had a really good Silent Hill game, because those games were always so adult, and it wasn't just adult because it was violent and gory. It's like just everything about it. The stories were really geared towards adult gamers. And I always felt, as much as I love Resident Evil games, and the newer games are much more adult orientated, I always felt like Resident Evil was a little bit more like kid friendly. It was just shooting zombies, whereas Silent Hill was a little bit more twisted and a bit more disturbing. And I'm just ready for some solid Silent Hill news now. I'm fed up with these little carrot dangles and people making up rumors that get me excited. It's got to be time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. It's coming.
The world needs it, or at least I need it anyway. That'd be the first thing. If I ever won the Euro Millions, that'd be the first thing I'd do, is somehow fund a Silent Hill game just for my own satisfaction. Even if it was, even if it was all of it, that would be it. Do you think Silent Hill is better than Resident Evil? Yes.
Oof.
100%. And that doesn't mean I don't like Resident Evil. I just prefer Silent Hill.
I'm Resi. I'm more Resi for me. Original Resi, not like the spin-offs. Like I'm like one to, you know what I mean? Not like the chronicles of this and that. But
yeah,
I know Ryan hates horror, so can't see him playing any of it.
No. Won't be playing any of them.
I would love Ryan to play PT on a stream one day.
I'd love to see him do any of it on VR, mate. He would be like, nope.
I can even do the shark thing on PlayStation VR. When you go down in the cage, I was like, the shark's coming.
Amazing. Dude, that would be such a good stream. People chuck in the chat if you would like to see Ryan stream PT.
I don't even know what PT is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so a while back. Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, so the guy that made all the Metal Gear games, and Del Toro, the guy who's like the good horror director and writer. They were making a new Silent Hill game together, with Norman Reedus was going to be the main playable character. And they released something onto the PlayStation Store called PT. There was nothing else about it. It was just a new demo for a new game.
Was it free?
It was free
as well.
Yep, completely free, and it stood apparently for playable trailer. And it was once you got the pattern down, you could complete it in 45 minutes or so. And it is one of the most terrifying gaming experiences I've ever had. And then once you completed it, it was revealed to be a new Silent Hill game. But it was so good, so well marketed. And I would love to see you play it for the first time, not knowing anything about it or having seen anyone play it before, just to see see your reactions. I think it'd be brilliant.
He won't be able to do
Tim
it.
can set it up. Maybe we could do it for Halloween or something. I'm willing to.
Yeah.
It's been thrown down.
It might be a short stream because I really do not like
horror films. Crazy Beg wants to know why. Why don't you like it, horror, Ryan?
We haven't got long enough on this stream for me to go into it, but I have my reasons.
Don't like being scared, or
just plays on my mind too much, and then I start thinking that it could actually happen to me, and it's just I don't like it.
Oh man,
not for me.
Controlled fear. That's like
it is.
It's like the ultimate. I think that's why I like horror so much, is because it is controlled fear. Once it's all done and the lights go up, you're like, it's finished. That's fine. I can just be I could just be scared for that 90 minutes or 2 hours. Amazing. Well, keeping on that horror theme, the gameplay trailer that dropped recently for the Dead Space remake. So keeping that horror, I'm presuming this is another franchise that maybe Ryan hasn't dived into.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I think I've played Dead Space before, because it's the one where you can see behind your man, isn't it? And it's a little bit like Doom when you're going down
Nope.
corridors
go.
and things.
His wife's now answering her.
Texas Chainsaw. Oh, mate, don't tell me you don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's like
horrible.
That is up there.
I'm more shocked. I'm not shocked that she's just mugged me off. I'm more shocked that she's actually watching our stream, to be honest. There's dishes to be done, washing to be done, beds to be made. There's loads of stuff she could be getting on with. So
Siobhan, you're gonna have to throw this down. There's a few people joining in the chat now, isn't it? We've got James in there, James Jarvis, Crazy Burger,
Mr. Gaming as well.
Mr. Scott, how are we doing? There's loads of people joining in. Welcome, everybody. We are just moving on to the Dead Space series and the Dead Space remake with the gameplay trailer that dropped recently. And man, oh man, that is something exciting. That is something so exciting. Yeah.
Outrageous.
I think like The Last of Us, when I'd heard, well, actually not like The Last of Us at all. When I'd heard Dead Space was getting a remake, I thought, yeah, it needs it. Because even though the first one is still, well, they're all still really good. They all still have great atmosphere. There's something about a horror game, I think, playing on like ray tracing, the depth of color, the fact that you can really lean into lighting now and make it so atmospheric. I just thought, yep, Dead Space needs a remake.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, it wasn't owned by EA at the time. I didn't really have a clue. I don't know if my brother was still working at Blockbuster at the time, but I remember getting it, and I used to sit on my subwoofer. All the lights are off, and I was playing that first bit when you can see them start, and it's like running through, and I just absolutely crapped my pants. But it was really, really well made, and that was back then. So, obviously, I did follow the series, and I did finish them all. There was a couple of animes that came out about it as well, and it's just that. Like that futuristic vibe of finding a spacecraft, and you're going out there and you don't know what's like. There's no reports coming back from it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so it's really good.
It had sort of like hints of like Event Horizon for anyone. Again, that might not be a movie that Ryan's seen, but the that movie Event Horizon, where a spaceship it's got like a warp drive on it, so it can go to other areas of space, and it ends up going to another dimension, coming back with all the demonic possession inside the ship. And it's like, oh my god, this is Dead Space. Reminded me a little bit of that as well. But yeah, much like you, Ollie, I just vividly remember playing it and crapping my pants for large portions of it. I can't remember which part it was, but I definitely remember getting to a point, saving and going, and that's enough for tonight. And I never do that. I always kind of keep pushing until it's too late to keep playing. But it genuinely was like, fuck, I'm quite scared of this, so let's stop this and pick it up tomorrow. So there we are. Stream number 2 can be Ryan playing Dead Space for the first time.
Release date was 14th of January, was it? That was on that.
Somewhere, yes, it's definitely
somewhere in January.
Yeah, mid to late January, which again blew my mind. I thought, oh my god, this is going to be a much later in the year, but no, January. It's just oh Jesus. That's a chat name and a half, isn't it?
Yeah. How real that is. Hang on.
Yeah, we'll see what.
Maybe block that one.
We'll see what we can do. I'm sure there's still the sure we still get you the Manscaped discount if that's what you're after.
We can code RGR. 10% off.
I think
20% off. It's there.
Yeah.
Apparently it still works. So people dive in there. Manscape yourself. Lost all my train of thought now. That's totally thrown me.
You're just coming to the end of Dead Space chat. That was all.
Yes. So yeah, I just can't wait. It looked great. It played well. Absolutely fantastic. There's loads of horror chat going on in the chat as well, which is amazing. what we got? It's much more kind of off topic. Looking forward to the Halloween Ends. Yes, absolutely looking forward to Halloween Ends. Halloween Kills was a bit silly, but very much looking forward to the third one and seeing how they run with it. Yes, Smile. Who else said Smile? Scott.
See, a
Has
film
anyone
called
seen
Smile to me just sounds horrible. Even because I know, like, a smile was a nice thing, but I know a film called that is just going to be grisly, isn't it?
It's definitely the trailer looks like it could be a bit derpy.
Yeah,
Are you sure you want to know the answer
I
to
watched
that? Crazy Burger?
Pinocchio on Disney
Yeah.
Plus, the Tom Hanks
Yeah, I
version
watched
of that
that.
the other day. You know,
Yeah, I did as well.
that's my level of film. When they go to the bit with the Lost Boys, that gets a little
Yeah,
bit
turning
dark
into
for me.
donkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just, that's my limit. Yeah.
Mind you saying that, like the Pinocchio, the original cartoon, when they go to Pleasure Island and all those kids turn into donkeys and stuff, that was pretty horrifying. Even
Yeah,
as a
they
kid,
were
I remember that like being really
smoking
upsetting.
cigars, aren't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
Kidnapped
Yeah.
and thrown away, wasn't it?
They've toned that down a bit in the
Yeah, they
actual
have.
film.
yeah. I still haven't seen the remake, and it's my favorite Disney movie. Maybe that's why I'm putting it off.
It's excellent. It is very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I'm not just saying that. It is a very good film.
Okay, I will take your word for
Better
it.
than Smile and Texas Chainsaw and all those. It's a feel-good film, isn't it, Pinocchio?
Yeah, it's like Lights Out. It's an original small-time horror. Yeah, cool. I could be into that. It did look a bit derpy from the trailer, but oh man, I'm loving horror chat. Someone else, I think, said, "Are we doing a Halloween stream this year?" I think we could probably squeeze in a Halloween stream.
I reckon we could.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to vet the outfits before. Nothing too harrowing for me.
I went with my sheet last year. I managed to literally stay in it for the full almost 2 hours.
I can't remember what I was wearing. Marshmallow head, I think.
Absolutely.
That was a year ago. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll definitely
exhausting.
do one. I got rid of my killer clown outfit, so I'm gonna have to get another outfit of some sort.
Excellent. I'm sure we can do that. Yes, I still haven't seen the new Scream, so no saying who the killer is yet. I've got to wait for Seren to catch up. She's only on Scream 3, and then we're gonna watch that new one together.
Need an
Just that's reminded me. Someone was writing a book, I remember 2 years ago, and they wanted to include the Evercade within their novel. If anyone knows whether that book was ever released.
Who was that?
It was someone within the fans group or within the normal Evercade group, and they were writing a novel, and instead of the kid having a Game Boy or a Game Gear, he was going to have an Evercade, and that's what he was going to be playing. I wonder if that ever happened. Yeah.
Someone's going to have to find out for us.
I need to know the answer.
Dressed as an egg, apparently.
We could go like full Dan Aykroyd cone heads. And sort of be eggheads. Anyway, right, pulling this back. Pulling this back nice and neatly. We're moving on from horror, which Ryan will be very, very happy about. And we're now moving into an area that I think Blunners will be able to sort of update us a little bit more with, and that is your Steam Deck update, because that looks like a cracking bit of kit. Blunders has done a video just showing some of the emulation that he's put on it as well, which is on the RGR channel. Please make sure you go and check that out. It's really, really good. It's kind of made me have a bit of FOMO about the Steam Deck.
Crazy Burger's got one as well. He's in the chat.
Has he indeed?
Yeah. Watched this video on it as well. But so the Beast turned up the other week. I've been waiting about 10 months. I waited for this. It took so long to get it. But I'm not gonna lie, I had an absolute nightmare just trying to get games on it. But got there in the end, and I managed to get there. But it just took me so long, just because basically where you put it into desktop mode, and that's how you download all your stuff in there. But then I was hoping I could just stick my USB memory card, all my backups on, and now I could just drop and drag. And no, it wasn't reading it because it's a Microsoft, so it didn't read at all. So after having to set my laptop up, set this up into desktop mode, then using my keyboard and mouse on this, connecting it to a USB hub, USB-C hub, sorry, that I just bought. I managed to finally drop and drag stuff over. So yeah, it was an absolute nightmare. But the emulation, yeah, is like Crazy
Well,
Burgers put it, is amazing. Oh, am I
Yeah.
drinking a bottle of rosé? No, I'm drinking Iron Brew.
Oh yes, look
Right?
at that original Iron Brew.
I'll tell you, this is amazing. Home bargains, £2. Boom.
Crazy Burger, I appreciate that.
This is my favourite. It's my favourite drink. I drink these by the gallons. Like, love
Ramsey
good.
Nesbitt used to drink that, didn't he? That was his drink of choice.
How did
I think it's basically Scottish water, isn't it?
yeah, but the emulation is like Crazy Burgers put. It is brilliant. It's just GameCube, PS2, Dreamcast, everything on it. Yeah, it's just amazing. I've just got to get some PS2 games on there as well now. But
Because it's insane. Because like the system that has always been the hardest to emulate for is Nintendo 64, isn't it? The N64 is always the one that people just can't quite get working. But some of the N64 stuff that you've been showing us, sort of just outside of the streaming and on the RGR channel and stuff, has been incredible. I can't believe that it works so well.
yeah, so look, it's fine.
Man,
There's no
that's mad.
banjo kazooie.
It's crazy how clear that is and how smooth that's running.
It's just a big old. Right.
Yes, look at that. Look at
Do you know
it.
what I mean? It is. It's brilliant.
That is
So yeah,
so good.
Once I get OBS Studio working on it, I'm going to try and do some Friday night streams on our
Yes,
channel.
that's
Once
going to
I've
be great.
worked out what I'm doing and put the kids to bed. But yeah, quality bit of kit. Took long enough to get in, but yeah.
That's incredible. And I think Crazy Burger said on there as well, and you've been saying as well, it like goes all the way up to GameCube and PS2 and all that kind of stuff as well. Like, that's insane, because some of those GameCube games are becoming so expensive now that, I mean, because I never had a GameCube as a kid. I just, it was the one Nintendo console that I just totally bypassed at the time. I was so heavy into the PS2, and I would I would love to go back and play some of these older GameCube games. I do have a small GameCube collection now, which I've sort of slowly been working my way through. But some of those games are crazy money now. And emulation, I think you even say in the video, the emulation is possibly one of the only ways that some people are going to get to play some of this stuff.
Yeah, so you can literally just use a dock, and then you get a dock, and it gives you USB-Cs out and HDMI, and then you can plug it into any TV. It's basically like a switch dock. So then you can just carry on playing. That's why I bought the 8-bit dough, like I bought before, which come with that's like the little USB that dongle that links it to it. So then I can play anything through it. But yeah, it goes all the way up to GameCube, and like with something like you're saying, the price of like Mario Thousand Year Door, stuff like that. I've got that game. I just never got round to actually fully finishing it, because that's always been like the Oracle Paper Mario games. But yeah, going up to GameCube games is it's not too bad for the base unit. It's just like about the same price as a Switch.
Yeah,
so.
And it's that idea, because I mean I've always used Mac to like do things on in terms of computing wise, so I only use a PC for work really, but there are certain things that I would like to have a PC for, so to be able to, because you can use the Steam Deck as a PC really, can't you? You can have you can get a dock. Well, it's got to be a compatible one. I think you said that Steam haven't, or Valve haven't made their own one yet.
Yeah. So I ended up just linking up my Bluetooth keyboard to it. Bluetooth keyboard, stuck my USB mouse into the back of the dock, and then basically put it into desktop mode, and you've got a Linux system, pretty much. And it's really snappy and quite quick. That's you basically incredible. Go that end to download all your emulators.
Yeah.
And then you have to go onto the web and download Emulation Station and then just install it, and it does it all for you.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. It's such a cool piece of kit, really, isn't it? Even if you just ignore, sometimes even if you just ignore the fact that you've got your whole Steam library on it as well, if you have a Steam account and all that good stuff. But yeah, that would be such a cool thing to have, and sort of have it as like a sort of, you know, little mini PC that you could use at home, but then take it out. It's, I don't know. The more I look at this, the more I'm sort of slowly moving into that realm of maybe next year
Yeah,
at
it
some
does.
point it'll be an investment.
Yeah, James, it does have that. But yeah, it's like
So, out of interest, how much is a Steam Deck? Just the
base model
base.
is about 330 base model, and then you got two different. You got another model which has got SSD drive in it, and then another one that's got the better like Gorilla Glass screen and bigger memory in it. But then you can just buy. I've just bought like a massive memory micro SD card, but I just went for the base model because I just wanted to check it out. And then, well, as of today, we've just seen earlier that you now don't have to wait at all to get your Steam Decks now. Whereas I pre-ordered mine day one, and I only got into like the Q3 production unit. So now you can just pick them up.
No, it's awesome. It's really cool. And yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier, but yeah, you can effectively just strip out the operating system that's on it if you want to, can't you? And put your own operating system into it. It's
but yeah. So
get Game Pass on it.
Yeah, apparently you can run through Xbox Game Pass through it. I've got to try the quality, see what it's like. Like I say, I want to stream Cuphead and stuff like that, so I will trial that when I get a chance to. But yeah, it's basically
mate.
a PC, basically.
Yeah, that's exciting. I've literally gone completely 180 on that system. I've gone from thinking there's no place for it after hearing when it was announced and launched, to being interested in it when they started showing what it could do, to now effectively kind of being like, yeah, I kind of feel like I would like one next year. You know,
I think I was quite lucky. So I was quite lucky because because it took so long to get out. Basically, all the bugs have been ironed out. So it's like like when they first got it, GameCube didn't really run too well on it, and PS2 wasn't too great. And by the time I've just turned up on my door, it's all working fine. It's all been updated. So
that's awesome. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? It's one of these things that it can seem like an idea. Certainly for someone like me, it was a case of, I don't see the point. I don't think there's a market for it. And clearly there is. You know, what the hell do I know? You know, definitely don't hire me to do any you know, marketing for things that that you want to market a new idea for, especially if I don't believe in it, because clearly I'm wrong. But yeah, I've gone completely 180 on it. It's taken me the whole year to do the 180, but it's happened.
Yeah. Well, once we next meet up, obviously I'll just bring it and you guys can have a look, see what you think.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'd absolutely be itching to have a go on that.
Don't bring it out. Don't bring it out next time we meet up.
No, I'll just bring it to your house.
Yeah, I was going to say that'll be left.
Not about like that. Not when I take it out.
Oh yeah, we won't take it out to the to the high school arcade and just
or Dorbs or knock his expensive cider over it or something. So with those big sort of clunky hands that he's got, so
he might have another trouser accident.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I've just looked on the website actually. Steam to get Steam Deck. Yeah, it says 1 to 2 weeks for delivery.
That's much better than Ollie's 10 months.
Took ages.
Amazing. Like a Game Gear, couldn't play that for long bits of time.
It does. It's very comfortable, James. It is basically what Nintendo should have done to bring out a Switch that can play better graphics. And do you know what I mean? Like they always said they want to Switch 4K or they want to Switch like Pro. They missed the boat on it really, because this thing to play Switch games as well.
That's mental. The fact that we get to that, is it like emulating Switch, or I'm presuming it must be, because it can't.
Yeah, I've tried. I tried to get Cowabunga Collection. I couldn't get it to work. I think I need to find some Steam keys. So do we say?
That's insane.
Yeah.
So there we are. It's one of those things now. The Steam Deck, it's a thing. It's out there and it's really good. Who knew? Allegedly.
Yeah.
While you were waiting to see the Queen lying in state. Cool. Right. Moving very swiftly on to one of the last topics of the evening. Before I do, if anybody has anything random they want us to talk about, any sort of questions about anything that's going on at the moment, feel free to chuck them in the chat. We'll star a couple if we've got a couple at the end, and we can we can have fun like we did last time. People asked some really weird, random stuff last time. So
If
yeah.
Rob Taylor's still watching, get Rob Taylor to ask us a question. He's always here. So
Indeed.
Rob, ask away.
Yes, almost last topic of the evening. This one I think is probably going to have a few people chatting. And again, in the chat, please get your opinions in on this. And that is the recent news that Google Stadia is closing for good, not just shutting down for a refurb or a refit. Google have thrown in their streaming towel and accepted that it's just not been good. And that could be for a multitude of different reasons. And I guess the only thing that I keep coming back to with Google Stadia, like game streaming services, are clearly work, because otherwise Game Pass wouldn't be as popular as it is, and the uptake in the new PlayStation Plus service wouldn't also have been as good if streaming games and having digital access to games wasn't a thing. I think the thing that Google went one step too far with is there was no system for you to play it off. It was just like a dongle. I seem to think it's like a weird little thing you plug into your TV. If you had excellent internet, then you just
Chromecast,
literally
is it?
something like that. Yeah,
It's like a Google. Yeah, it's like their version of like the Fire Stick, basically. Google's version.
And I don't think there was ever effectively. It's not even a digital game that you downloaded to anything. It was you just streamed a game from what I can gather. And I don't think people were ready for that. The idea is kind of cool. This idea that you don't need to have a system, you just plug it into your TV. But I think maybe it's because I'm a collector, but I like having a system.
But it's just like James said here earlier. I think it was like the first EGX we went to. They were giving these on live systems out for free, and basically they were like subscription model, cloud based. And they used to have all these and we were streaming it, so you were playing it, we were streaming it, and basically when I saw that this was announced, I thought they were just copying on live, but that obviously died as well. So it's a shame because the potential's there. You think like when I first heard about it, it was like you can just like cloud gaming. You play it off your phone. You can play it on your laptops. You can play it on your tablets. You just need a screen, and then this controller should be able to link up to it. But I think they just haven't got. It's. I think it's kind of like when the Xbox One first came out, and they wanted your TV going through it. They wanted this to be like your multimedia hub. I think it's just a little bit too early. I think once 5G's fully everywhere, and you're getting these like 300 to 500 meg downloads off your mobile phone, this is when these things will just run like a dream. You won't even. So I just think it's a bit before its time, really. It's a shame.
It's good to have options. It's one of these things that, a competitive market, if there are many options on the table and people competing for your custom, then that only makes products better in general. It's one of
I
the
was there. So
it's one of the small bits of the capitalist model that does work is entertainment. Entertainment in a capitalist model, everybody benefits from because people only strive to be better. And it's just it is a shame, I guess, that Google just maybe I don't know. Yeah, on live is maybe you guys are right. Maybe it's just ahead of its time. It's the Dreamcast of its era. It's just a bit too far forward than what people are there. Because I'd imagine if you've got terrible internet, trying to play a game like Cyberpunk on Google Stadia must have been bloody awful.
Yeah, could you imagine that?
I mean, playing it on a base model PS4, I think for some people was a borderline unplayable experience, and that was a hard copy disc. So, God knows what it would have been like streaming a game like that.
Just want to ask the chat, has anyone in the chat got one, or like Ryan was saying, I think he thought Aaron had one, then Austin had one.
Yeah, I think Cabbage Face Bricks. I'm convinced he sold his PlayStation 4 and went out and got a Google Stadia, but I never heard him mention it after he purchased it. So he either never purchased one or he purchased it and didn't think much of it and got rid of it shortly after.
Yeah,
but it was like you said, it was probably ahead of its time, because now on my Xbox, and certainly on my Xbox Series S, I don't even have to download games anymore. I just stream it straight from the cloud, and they're like huge games, and they run really, really well, perfect. Really, there's
It's
never
mad,
any
isn't it?
issues with them at all. So maybe if it came out now, it might be a bit more popular, but you're competing against Sony and Xbox who do exactly the same thing. And what's a kid going to be happier with Christmas Day, a Google Stadia or a PlayStation or Xbox?
Yeah, it's all about branding, I guess, again as well, isn't it? If you've got that PlayStation brand behind you already, or that Xbox brand, it's exciting. But I still think it's some of it for me is the fact that there wasn't anything physically there for you to see that you were playing. So I mean, if you take that idea of like a kid for Christmas, for example, if you get them that little Google Stadia thing, which is a controller in your dongle, and you're like, there you go, happy Christmas, or you pull open and there's a PS5 under there, it's like, there's my money, there's my thing, the thing that I like to game on and dedicate myself to. Whereas if it's just a USB stick, it's sort of, I don't know. Maybe it's like I say, maybe it's just me because I'm a collector and I like to have the the physical thing there, but it kind of feels a little bit soulless. There's no dedicated system there. It's just in the ether. I don't know. There's something about gaming that I like. That's having the game, even if it is just a digital game, but then having the system to play it on.
It's like, I'm sure I remember that they on their actual trailer. Like, I remember you said before about when Evercade showed off their things, but it's like on theirs it was like YouTube. So you like, because obviously Google's, you would literally then type in your game, it would turn up and you could click it and then you'll instantly be playing it. So they said any device that basically had YouTube that you'd be able to play these on. So I think you only have that Chromecast just because it's like it can guarantee to have YouTube for it. But I'm not sure if the controller needed internet connection, because then that would connect to your internet, which would then. So I don't know if that was Bluetooth or if that was connected via your internet. So I don't know.
Oh
It might
man.
be, if that is, then it might still be worth trying to pick one of these controllers up, because maybe in the future it might be worth it. But I'm not 100%.
It's weird though, isn't it, that someone like
Yeah,
Google, with all of the money, all of the clout that they've got, and all of the access to, I mean, they are basically a cloud
yeah,
company, really, aren't they?
yeah.
And they couldn't make it work.
Because they should have gone to the companies. They should have gone to them all. Gone, look, gone to like Microsoft, gone to PlayStation. We'll sort out your Game Pass. Give us all your shit. We'll cut out the middleman. Use our branding. Do you know what I mean? You could go like, you could get all of the you could get them all just stop running through you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
yeah, become like the iTunes of the digital gaming world.
yeah. So
Sorry,
yeah,
just there. Someone saying they
Ghostbusters.
just noticed the T-shirt there. Yes, 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 yes. It's all there. Yeah, I mean that would be weird, wouldn't it? If there was just one.
It would be soulless, but yeah, like you're saying.
Oh, it'd be weird. It'd
So
be
you had
weird,
like
man.
one. Say like that was your console that connected in, and PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo, it all stream off it.
It kind of feels like that's where people want it to go.
I
It's just
don't.
will people go with it, or are they going to go kicking and screaming? It's because I think everyone was sold on the idea that the PS4 and the Xbox One were going to be the last consoles. They were like, people were absolutely convinced of it.
Yeah.
And then Series X, Series S, PS5, they're all still here. It's like, I don't know. I just don't think consoles are going anywhere. Or dedicated machines for gaming. I don't think they're going anywhere. Certainly for another couple of generations yet. Like you say, maybe when the internet improves to the point where it's, because in Europe, like certainly places like France and stuff, they've got like 200-300 meg download to your effectively like super fast internet is a really common thing out there. And yet over here, most of us have still got 50 meg, which is still pretty good, but when you compare it to like 200 meg as a standard, that's just
It's when
pants.
it's when 5G's fully out, mate. You won't even. You'll just be using your phone, tethering off your phones, won't you?
Yeah. Is that Mr. Neil there?
Oh, physically, no cloud
He's like
rubbish.
everywhere, isn't he? He's like a rash that just will not go away.
Roof rack simulator.
I put
Yeah.
Marathon Gamers put it. I think we all do need to share some Switch codes actually.
Yes,
Don't we?
absolutely, Scott. Yes, I know he did. He did send me his the other
Oh,
day,
right.
and I just haven't heard turn my Switch off.
You
I've
need to
barely had a moment to breathe.
send me yours, Scott.
Yes,
Yeah, we
Sorry,
can sort all that out.
we can start getting a new community. We'll get a new community game of Splatoon playing. We'll see if we can get some of those going.
Yeah, we need to do another Among Us game as well. Scott will
do.
have to join in with that. That's always really good fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, Mr. Scott. If you've got Among Us, or if you don't, just chuck it on your phone. That's what I play it on. We'll we'll definitely sort one out. We haven't had one for ages. Yeah, you're right.
No,
It's
and
been
they're really good fun. And we have a celebrity join us, Rick Waller.
Rick
So,
Waller, yeah.
usually when we mention Rick Waller's name, he appears in the chat. So
Oh
let's see
yeah,
if
see if
it
he turns up.
happens this evening.
Excellent. Okie dokie. So, very, very last topic before we get to. There's a couple of questions people have asked that we'll get to. A quick rundown of this month's PS Plus games and games with gold games. So for people that maybe own one, either or neither of those systems, PS Plus is your online service, which is like $5.99 a month, something like that, to play online games. And Sony will chuck you normally 3 free games. Games with gold is exactly the same thing from Microsoft, except they generally send you shit games because they want you to buy Game Pass. So let's start.
I think it's $5.99 because we just got FIFA on Friday, and my son wanted it on PlayStation, but which then meant I was like, oh shit, I got to re-up my PS Plus. Yeah, it's about $5.99 now.
Let's start with the games with gold because they normally are pants. And this month there are only 2 games in your games with gold subscription service, and they are
Drum roll.
Windbound, which I have never heard of before. But it looks
Okay,
like
that sounds interesting.
It looks a bit weird. It looks like the front cover of it that I'm looking at now looks like a makeshift Moana weird thing.
Windbound.
Oh yeah,
Windbound.
it's even ripped off the O. Looks like Moana writing, doesn't it? It looks like that Heart of Tahiti. So they've properly ripped that off, haven't they?
And the other game is Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition. I mean, yeah. So there we go. If you've got an Xbox and you're paying your money, I would strongly suggest you just get Game Pass because that's pretty pants. Never played either of those games either. Shock horror. And
I'm just going to put that image on the screen in a second.
Oh yeah, do.
We mention the next game, but I'm just going to.
Oh no, that's it. That's the Microsoft stuff done. That's all they got this month.
Windy Pants was it?
Yeah,
Windy Pants. Ooh.
Here we go.
Ryan
right.
is there.
Right, ready? So this is Moana.
Yeah, if you tell me that this isn't the Heart of Tahiti that's in the middle here.
I can't keep doing the drum roll.
There we go.
There you go.
Look at that. Ta-da. That's a massive rip-off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be
it's even the same
game.
shape as that green thing, that heart.
100%.
We could be absolutely taking a massive dump on one of the best games ever made. But
anyone in the chat played it?
Windbound. Okay, and then your PlayStation Plus games for October are. The first one's a bit weird. So your PS5 / PS4 game is Hot Wheels Unleashed, which I'm presuming is going to be like a Micro Machines style racer.
Wasn't that going to be on the Amico and Television, Hot Wheels? I'm sure that they, and I'm treading on dodgy ground here mentioning the Amico and Television.
Ooh,
but wasn't Hot Wheels one of the exclusive licenses that we're going to... I'm going to look that up.
Hot Wheels, Crayola, wasn't it? Crayola, Hot Wheels.
Yeah, there was all sorts, wasn't it? They had Harlem Globetrotters and
that was it, Globetrotters, yeah.
Yeah, they had all sorts going on. But yeah, could very well have been Hot Wheels, but I think that is a like I say, a Micro Machines inspired racer, so I will probably play that because those games are cool. And then the other 2 games, your PS4 games, are Injustice 2, which is absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
And Super Hot, which I believe is like I don't know if that's the VR version of that or not, or if there isn't a VR version of it, I don't know. But Super Hot is really good fun as well.
Reminds me of Rhaegar, like his little avatar when I saw that Super Hot game.
Yes.
You know, like Rhaegar VR, Rhaegar gaming.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the world that he does his videos in. Quite similar to that. in a way.
Yeah. But there you go. Those are your PS Plus games. So for the same price, those are the games you get for free. Last month I think it was Crash Bandicoot 4, and I can't think what
Need
other
for
one.
Speed.
Yes, Need for Speed. And the PlayStation Plus one for just the base price is still the best deal. But I think we've said it before. The reason I think Microsoft have some not so good games on theirs is just so they bump you into that Game Pass territory. So there we have it.
Outstanding.
It is.
I won't have a bad word said about that. I honestly think it's. We've said it on here before, but if you're short of money and you just got a Series S and Game Pass, you're sorted for the next 6-7 years, however long that console's out for.
Easy. So much stuff 100%. On there. And you get day one Microsoft games.
Yep.
Just saying.
The value for money on that is insane. It is easily the best deal gaming wise. If collecting the physical stuff and all that kind of stuff is just not your thing, Game Pass is 100% your best option out there. It's great. I don't think anyone would disagree. It is the best thing out there in gaming, I think. Even though I don't have it. But
we need to swap PlayStation and Xbox codes with people as well and set up some games on there. If that Hot Wheels is free to download and you do multiplayer on it, and like Rob Taylor's just mentioned, it's very good. Maybe we could have a few online games of that. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. I don't see why we couldn't do that at all. 100%. There's got to be a way of creating like a lobby for that and inviting people.
And I can stream off my PlayStation onto this channel, so people would be able. And I think the chat goes over as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if people in the chat would fancy that, hit us up. Let's get on the. There is a Discord for RGR, indeed. Yes,
there is already
for that.
Yes, Tim effectively understands.
Yeah.
I think Tim understands how Discord works a lot. I rarely use it. I think we only really jump on Discord when we do like community games, so that we can all just have a laugh and chat to each other without all needing to be on the same system. But yeah, jump on over, Scott, and we will. I don't think we use it like most people do, but yeah, there is one definitely. Okie dokie. Let's see what some of these.
See, we're like 21st century, aren't we? Discord, Instagram, Twitter. We're down with
TikTok.
TikTok.
I don't know how to use half of it, but we've got it.
Blunner's managed to stream the entirety of Simpsons Hit and Run on TikTok.
Yeah, that was really good actually. I've done that in a 6 weeks holiday every night. I was in there stream. The thing is, they were telling me what to do, so it was brilliant. So I was like, "What do I do?" And then I started the Simpsons game and done that as well.
Yeah,
and the chat were just telling me, "What I should be doing, where should we be going?" Because I've never played it.
Amazing. So there we go. Like Blunners is a TikTok streamer. He's a star in the making. None of us know how to fucking use it. But yeah, so yes. First question is from Mr. Jarvis. Daddy or chips? I'm going to throw that one out to you guys first.
I don't even know what it means.
I don't know what daddy or chips mean.
It was that old McCain advert, wasn't it? When someone asked a little girl when she's on her way to school, do you like daddy more or chips more? And so she'd just say daddy or chips all the way to school and back. And then when her chips were in front of her, her dad come and pinched one off her plate, didn't it? And she said chips.
Oh yeah, that's oh god, I hadn't thought about that advert for years. Yeah, chips.
Yeah, go with chips. I don't know. I quite like my dad. I get on with him.
So do I.
Actually, I'm going to say my dad because he had a bit of a nasty fall after the Southampton game at the weekend. So I am going to say my dad. So get well soon, Dad. Even though you won't be watching this, but he is on the mend. He is on the mend.
Okay, let's jump to one from Mr. Scott. What's the film you guys are looking forward to still to come out this year? Oh,
mine's Black Adam. With The Rock.
I hope that's good.
Yeah, I like that. Well, he does. He's normally all right.
He's watchable, isn't he?
Yeah.
You put him in a shit film, and the shit film becomes infinitely better. Definitely agree with that. Mr. Ryan, do you have a film you're most looking forward to coming out this year?
Probably Puss in Boots. No. I just remember that was when I went to see What was the last film I went to
Was
see?
it Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris?
Super Pets. Super Pets. God, I'm sad. I've got an 8-year-old daughter, by the way. I don't just go and watch these films.
Yeah, it goes in on his own.
Yeah, I think that's coming out this year. And isn't Matilda?
Oh.
That's coming out this year as well.
Crazy Burger, Avatar.
Yeah,
yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah. That was going to be my one.
Oh,
Yep.
I forgot about that one actually.
Yeah.
And that's
I'll change one. I'll change one. Avatar.
Is it going to have the same impact? It's been 2009 that first Avatar film came out, and we're getting the sequel in 2022. No, it's coming out Christmas this year, Mr. Scott.
But no, I remember that
re-release.
My brother just bought like a 3D projector, and that bit where the bits are floating around, we were all just like, "Whoa!" That was pretty good at the time.
Yeah, and then next part I think is next year, next Christmas, and then I don't know if they've filmed 2 or 3 of them back to back, so they're ready and lined up to go.
I was lucky enough to go to Disney in 2018, and I went on the Avatar. I think I went on both the Avatar rides, but the flight of the whatever it is when you sit on that, it is phenomenal. It's possibly the best ride I've ever been on. It feels like the thing's breathing beneath your legs.
I can't wait.
It's phenomenal.
I'm going back to Disney in 24. And the last time I think I went in 2016, and they were building Pandora at the time, and I just remember thinking, Christ, that's it. Just every time I go, they're building something else, and it's like, right, I've now got to save up to go back to see that.
I went for
green beer there. That was quite interesting. There's a picture of me somewhere on Facebook with like a pint of green beer that I got there. Tasted nice, but you just looked at it thinking, oh, it's not right.
It's like when they did green. Do you remember when they did green ketchup?
Yeah, that's that.
I just couldn't do it, even though it tasted like ketchup. It just not that. It was just weird.
What about clear Coke?
Yeah, Tab Clear.
Tab Clear.
Pepsi did it as well, didn't they? It was called Pepsi Crystal. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't.
Do you remember Virgin Cola and they had the Pammy bottle? Do you remember that? It was shaped like
Pamela
Anderson.
Pamela Anderson on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to show you this now. There's a couple of other ones.
I used to always buy Virgin Cola when I was at college because I thought it made me look cooler if I had Virgin
breathing
Cola.
Between your legs. What's that about?
Okay.
It's the thing that you sit on, isn't it? The beast, the flying thing that you sit on it. You can feel it like breathing.
Present screen.
Virgin Cola.
Right, here we go.
Oh, I remember Virgin Cola as well.
Share. Right, here you go. Pepsi Crystal.
I don't even remember that.
No, I don't remember that.
God, imagine what would the sugar content be in that?
Oh, I have no idea. To make Pepsi taste the way that it did and make it clear at the same time, God knows what was in it. Right, Mr. Crazy Burger question. Evercade delays. Will the EXP actually ship end of November?
One for Ryan.
Without upsetting anyone in the Evercade community, because there's some great people in that community, and we obviously have EverChat based on the previous 2 releases, and I know the first Evercade was during a global pandemic, and the VS was towards the end of a global pandemic. I expect it to be delayed into December. I think it'll be out before Christmas, but it won't hit their initial launch date.
Someone's trying to get in my cupboard. George, go away.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's at least unlike the Amico, at least it's coming out. You know, there's always that. We don't have to take a bet on whether or not we think it's actually coming out. But yeah, I could see why something would get delayed. It's, you know, there's a lot going on, isn't there? But yeah, so you reckon it will ship into next year?
No, I think into December it will be released, but so it won't be November. I think it will be 2 weeks before Christmas, so everyone will be panicking. Do it, you know. Oh, I've brought this for my husband for Christmas. It's not going to turn up, and then I think they will get it out before Christmas.
Yeah,
Dorbs is loving it.
Yeah, Dorbs is of no faith.
Positivity.
I've been playing my Evercade quite a bit recently, and I've been getting a bit more back into it.
There's
Still
a
haven't
few.
ordered the XP, but yeah, I've been getting back into it.
Yeah, I think I will next year. I think I will once they're out and in the wild and we can see what they're up to.
We'll go on a lunchtime and nip to Argos and both go and pick one up next year.
Yeah, that sounds like
That's
a
what we'll
plan.
do.
And Dorbs.
Yeah, and
You'll keep it sealed. If everyone from RGR played Mario Kart on Switch, who would win? No arguing.
Don't know. That's another one.
I'm not shit at Mario Kart. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I'm not too bad. But
I'm
Mario
quite good.
Kart is skill, but it's also the computer's automatic catch up almost, isn't it? So you can be miles behind and you'll just get all the power ups and catch back up again.
You can do, but you still got to keep that front bit, haven't you? You've got to keep that lead.
I've also got the season pass as well for the courses.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Some of them new courses that came out.
I would like to say Blunners and Nintendo Leaf would be the best two, and then I would be a close runner-up to those two.
What about Triangle Face? Where would he go?
Yeah, Triangle Face would be good. He's good on game, but he's talked himself up before, hasn't he? So yeah, you never know with Triangle Face. I don't know if Mario Kart's his thing. He's more his fighting games, isn't he?
What was the one he talked himself up on?
Smash Brothers.
That was it.
To be fair, he was playing against like the second-ranked person in Europe or something. They stitched him up there. The random draw, they put him against the most. Yeah, it was.
No one got that on camera.
We knew Triangle Face was in trouble because before he started his game, the person he was playing against went into the button configurations and configured all the buttons, every single one of them.
Yeah.
Did he look around like, uh-oh?
Yeah.
You know when someone's good at something when they change the button configuration, don't you?
Yeah, he's very good at Smash Brothers. It's just people have just got more time, haven't they?
Yeah, Tim's a good gamer. Right, one from Gib84 Gaming. Remakes, remasters, yay or nay? Do you think there are too many out there? I am all for all of them. I don't mind a remake. I don't mind a remaster, especially if it improves on the game that came previously. So certainly with things like Last of Us remake, admittedly, there's a lot of people upset about that, but it looks better. So it's only going to make it a slightly more enjoyable experience, especially seeing as you can't play PS3 games on your PS5. I guess you could get the remastered PS4 version, couldn't you? But
you're saying that here. Do you remember? Is there rumours about them redoing the Horizon again?
What?
I think there was rumours about that, and people were going, "Are you serious? There's no point doing the first Horizon Zero Dawn because it's already a really good looking game."
Yeah, it's a PS4 title. Like it still runs well. Like if you want to do a PS5 upskill, like they do for the older games, so that they've got a bit of a redo for them. Like yeah, by all means. But why remake it? That's insane.
That's what everyone was saying. Yeah,
wow.
But I'm for it. I'm for it because I just replayed, what was it, Mass Effects when they all came out.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Yep.
But
I like it,
and it also
if they're done well.
Life and things, don't it? Yeah, if they're done well. Yeah.
But things like Grand Theft Auto, when they've just done Vice City, San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 3, that wasn't done well. It had quite a lot of bugs in there.
Yeah, see, look, it's got me.
Wow, I did not know that.
Like you said, them bugs, they were bad, weren't they?
I guess remakes would be the fact that Grand Theft Auto's been on PS3, PS4, PS5, and it's exactly the same game. That's quite frustrating that they've done that.
Yeah, completely agree. The biggest remake for me that was the biggest tick in the box that I was most worried about was the Final Fantasy VII remake. They've been chatting around that since the PS3 days, and I was so glad when that came out and it was good, and it was really good. My favorite game of that generation is Final Fantasy VII remake. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement. We all like a remake and a remaster. I don't know if there are too many of them though. I'm sort of looking at my titles over here, and all right, so the Resident Evil ones are on a bit of a kick, aren't they? Remaking all the original ones, but they're great. They're games that, yeah, the original games are still good, but sometimes an old game is
Well, there
good
was a lot
because
of
we have fond memories of it. It's not good because
Yeah.
it's a good game, essentially, in modern senses.
as what I was about to say. Plus, also it breeds the new generation to see what we were playing back then as
Mhm.
well. Obviously,
Yeah.
looking better, a lot better now. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's too many. I'm kind of down with them. I like them. I like them.
If you don't like them, don't buy them. That's it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the wonderful thing of entertainment is you don't have to participate.
'Cause I think when Mass Effect one came out, sorry, just we move on. They're all about £150 each, or you can
Yeah,
go and or you can go and spend 50, 60 quid on the redo with all three of them in. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes it was a bit.
yeah. Right. This might be more for you two. What is the biggest change to FIFA this year?
Well, to be honest, like you said, other than the free kicks and the set pieces, it graphically still it looks quite good. But I think it's mainly more for these like the SPs. Like my son's literally just got into it. It's the guy I do football training with. That's all he plays. It's literally FIFA. He had a guy YouTuber came around and he beat him, and that's how he won the copy. He already had 2 copies. He'd given to, so he gave it to my son for free. So that's how he got it. So it was. Did you hear that? He's just
He
scored a
just scored a
bicycle kick.
goal. Yeah.
Bicycle kick brownie. So yeah. So, but the difference really, there's not really that much difference, but the gameplay is kind of really the same. But I think it's just the updates, how they update all the stats and everything like that.
Okie dokie. Yeah, FIFA goes over my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the researchers need to sort themselves out on FIFA because Southampton have got a new young player called Roman Lavia from Man City who's really, really good. And he's rated like 62 bronze or even less than that, I think, which is like terrible. Who's put him on as that? He's far better than that.
Yeah.
I would agree if I knew what you were talking about. There's a lot of words there. Oh, another one for Mr. Blunners. Did you say you ran a marathon in Disney World?
Wasn't me. I haven't been to Disney World. I'd love to go.
I've been to Disney and I've run the London Marathon, but I never mentioned it just a minute ago.
How random. So no, but Ryan has run the marathon and been to Disney, so we can say that we've culminated that in 2 different people at different times.
Yeah.
Yes, so not quite in the way. And then one last question there from Mr. Jarvis before we disappear. Questions: game prices. What's the next console games to drop in price as Xbox original PS2 is starting to rise? Wii U.
No, don't say that.
What's the next console price to drop? I don't know. Like the PS3 is still pretty low.
PS3 and 360 as well, still pretty low.
Yep.
Wii's not too high. I don't think Wii's that high at the minute. Certain games are, but most of them you can still pick up quite cheap.
Yeah.
Same
Wii U.
Same with PS2, isn't it? Well,
yeah,
Wii U is going up.
It is slightly, isn't it? You can still.
Yeah.
I was still quite shocked at going into CEX the other day and the amount of Wii U titles that are still a £5 and £6, and it's like, Christ, that's. I thought the Wii U like years ago was going to become the most collectible system because there's not comparatively there's not that many Wii U consoles in existence, which just it immediately makes it rarer than everything else at the time, and some of those games are Wii U only as well. So I don't know. I thought the Wii U would be way more collectible than it currently is, but Retro Ghetto, like again, another really good YouTube channel. He was going for a complete Wii U collection and sort of updated along the way. And I think he was quite honest about some of the more pricier games in the Wii U, but there's not that many. So you could realistically go for a complete Wii U collection and, not have to remortgage your house. So yeah, it's weird. But I think,
other than the Zelda ones, because I picked up for my birthday and they're all still 30 quid ish, 25, 30 pounds. So.
Yeah. But yeah, next
I think all games are going to start coming down soon. If the cost of everything keeps going up as it is, what are people going to, have their heating on, or a full set of, I don't know, NES cartridges?
Yeah, they're gonna.
You know what's going to benefit people more, and I think a lot of people are going to be offloading a lot of their games. I think prices went up during lockdown as well because people had more disposable income, more people were hoarding these games. So I might be massively wrong, and we'll look back on this in a year time and everything's gone up and up and up and it's continued to go up, but I just can't see it carrying on going as it is.
No, I think that lockdown bubble around like gaming was definitely a blip in the matrix, and everything's gonna now subside over the next sort of 12 months to being much more sensible prices. There's still going to be crazy expensive games because there always have been, but I think we're going to. Cabbage Face has just said the Mario trailer's just dropped. We might have to finish up so that we can all go and check that out. I'm dying to hear what Chris Pratt's Mario impression's like, because I cannot imagine Chris Pratt just talking like Chris Pratt as Mario. I think that's going to really screw with my head.
Yeah, we'll do a reactions video in a sec.
100%.
Cabbage Face would make a good Mario. Now I'm thinking about it in the film.
Yeah,
He's
it
got
would.
that like Mario look to him.
Mr. Bricks, do a Mario impression and drop it in the RGR Facebook group, please. That's the task for this evening. I want to see your Mario impression now. Ryan has nominated you. It looked like Ryan was leaning over to grab something. Then I thought you were going to.
No. I've just had a cup of tea brought in for
up
me.
as Mario.
No, I just had a cup of tea brought in for me.
Excellent. Right. We will call it there so we can go and check out the Mario trailer. Thank you so much for joining us, chaps. That was most enjoyable. Always enjoyable with you guys. And thank you everyone in the chat for sticking around. We've had really good, consistent numbers tonight. Chat's been really busy, which is always nice. Lovely to see everybody in there. Thank you for all your interactions and your questions as well. It's always wonderful to see you guys all in there. So yes, thank you everyone for joining. We will see you. When's the next stream?
Hang on. Bear with
always
me.
Got to plug the stream at the end.
Yeah, it is. I know we've got Triangle Face Arcade, I think, coming up.
Yep.
It's not until the 19th of October.
19th? Wow.
Yeah, so maybe we'll try and squeeze something in next week.
Might have an uncensored next week. I'll have our monthly uncensored. Oh, yes. And Mr. Scott there, vote for Girth. People, Girth Tuber of the Month. You can still get your votes in. There's a lot of good videos out there of people pitching their what's the word I'm looking for? Pledging for your votes and that kind of thing. So, yes, excellent stuff. Right. Anyway, we will hopefully see you guys next week, and take care, everybody. Good night.